Hello and welcome in everyone. Welcome back to the Final Fantasy XIV free trial completionist playthrough. Let me go ahead and grab some music. Why is that up? And that and that. I don't need that. And this. Is that the one? Yeah, that's probably the one. Not titled right, but it should be it. Let me see. Let me just make sure it's that window. And then we'll go and turn this on. Some nice, chill, relaxed music in the background while we play. Anywho, we are entering into what is the dumbest sequence of post-ARR content. This sort of lends itself to some character growth for Alphino in Heaven's Word, but otherwise is very stupid and the kind of thing that, like, I think the story writer might have gotten blacked out drunk and banged their head on the keyboard and forgot half of the stuff that they wrote 5 minutes ago, kind of storyline. So we're going to be racing through the content today. I will be ignoring half of what people say. I may skip some shortcut scenes if they become really bad. But I'll probably try to avoid skipping any cutscenes at least. And we're just gonna run through this content as fast as possible so we can ignore half of it. But the gameplay should still be pretty fun today. Plus, it'll probably be a day full of me just like making fun of the characters and stuff. Anyway, let's hit up the squadron and see how they're doing so far. They are still going until about 7 tonight. Alright. Let's go ahead and get these guys working on more. There we go. That will finish that. Now we need to go back to Revenant's Toll to get going on this. Just race through as fast as possible. Kind of stuff. Although actually I think the next section might be more of the Karthus stuff, which I think is fairly fine. I don't remember that being aggressively stupid. But we shall see, I suppose. I don't need that. Okay, just need to keep track of those things. That's fine. Also, off stream, I've mostly just been trying to grind out some crafting materia to hit that next breakpoint. I'm pretty close. I'm pretty close with food to hitting that 451 break. Actually, no, I have hit that 451 breakpoint. Yeah, I have hit the 451 craftsman breakpoint. I don't have enough control. I'm pretty close there. But I need to get some more control materia, and unfortunately it needs to be over melded, which means I need even more of it because it's going to shatter like crazy. And that is just taking forever. Because all I can do is try to find high-level recipes that I can craft tons of and just hope I spirit bomb my gear fast. So I've mostly just been working on that. Oh, cool. Yep, Yeah. Left their own devices. Got myself overwhelmed. Okay. Yeah. This is why I don't remember this exact next section being super stupid. Because we're not dealing with Alf. We're going and dealing with Slaffborn and dealing with Adventurer Guild type stuff. Which, again, is part of what I found so dumb in this section of the story. Like, the story writer must have been blackout drunk or something in this section of the story, because they established that Everyone's adoring me and they all desperately want to be like me, and 5 minutes later none of them join our organization and I have to go beg idiots and corrupt politicians and criminals, convicted felons to join us. Like, story writer forgot what they were writing. Send me somewhere else so I don't have to deal with this idiocy for a while. More your burden that concerns me? Less work for you, the log rod. Yeah. How else do you raise an army? How else could you possibly raise an army other than getting a bunch of felons to join you? Uh-huh. Brigands attacking. They maybe have been heretics, huh? Too many. How do you know they're heretics? Looks like you do need my help with something, don't you? It's like to be more than a case of simple... Yep. Ishgard must be informed, but first send me. House Fatant. Okay. Collect the provisions from Dragonhead. Looks like I need to go hang out with my buddy. You're not on good terms with the Knights of House Fatant. Why, yes, I was. Why is this... Like, why was he leaning to the side like that every time I would try and look at my screen? Hopefully this will work better. Contradicted my earlier hopes. That doesn't matter. No one ever lets me actually rest. Everyone is constantly sending me on stupid errands. I'm used to it by now. So long as you pay me and get me drunk, I'll do whatever. I believe the entrance to Kurthus is right over here, so... Oh, look at all those people just going and spending poetics to pick up their gear that's infinitely more powerful than the stuff I've spent 100? 150 hours working up to. That's just how it be, I guess. The positioning was great. Just boop, here's another potato. Chiffon, save me from Alf's idiocy for 5 minutes or so. Desperate for anything that doesn't have to do with the Crystal Braves and all that stupidness. Such a pointless story beat. How do you... Care for a plate of roast caracal, some mulled wine? Yes, I want some mulled wine. Yes, mulled wine, now. Urgent missive from Revenant's Toll, huh? When the cold sets in. Time for us to get started with Shiva stuff. I don't know that we face Shiva here. I think we do this, and then we go back to Revenant's Toll and do some stuff there, and then come back later for Shiva, and I think 2.5 maybe.
Brave men and women all. They do our nation a great service. The existence of a fortified outpost in Mordona will do much to dissuade the Empire from trespassing on Kurthus soil.
Oh my god. Yep.
Right glad am I that you have chosen to lend your support to this endeavor. Never let it be said that House Forton does not acknowledge the efforts of her allies, or her debts.
I mean, yeah, they are the first ones to go through the rigmarole of getting us passports at the end of the day.
'Twas in the spirit of gratitude that I arranged for sundry supplies to be delivered to Revenant's Toll. That the shipment should chance to be waylaid by heretics is poor fortune indeed. Poor fortune, I say, yet not without precedent. If you would know the truth of it, these incorrigible villains grow more organized with each passing day.
I like early on when they're looking at the heretics like, these horrible villains, and then Heavensward is like, well, actually.
I have devoted significant resources to the task of identifying this woman. We have yet to learn so much as her birth name.
The Lady Iceheart, you say?
What we do know is that the heretics
I know her birth
speak of
name.
Iceheart in reverent tones, and would gladly embrace death rather than betray her. Such loyalty is rare indeed, and I fear to imagine what so committed a collective might achieve. The brigands have not yet been so brazen as to risk direct confrontation here in Dragonhead. Some few of their number have, however, been sighted not far to the west of here, and with a visit to Whitebrim Front may bring you the answers you seek. Will you brave the snows, knowing what implacable foes may lie in wait?
Of course. Why not? I always do.
Halone's blessings be upon you. Though I take no pride in the admission, many of mine own countrymen are not so well suited as you adventurers to dealing with such foes. Were they dragons? It might be otherwise.
No, I'm actually better at dealing with dragons than your people,
I could not wish for a finer ally. You have done much for my house.
And once I finally slip into Heavensward and get my hands on Machinist, I'll be really well suited to dealing with dragons. At least, like, lore-wise. I'll be really well suited to dealing with dragons once I get a gun.
And a warmer welcome shall be waiting for you.
Huzzah. Oh. Alright, Whitebrim. Let's see what you guys got for me. Actually, Whitebrim should be mostly okay. A lot of the people in that town friggin' love me. I don't really... remember this chunk of dealing with Whitebrim super well. What I do remember is the earlier chunk where they were all really annoying until we dealt with that fake Inquisitor. And then the later chunk when you're doing the Dark Knight questline when they all super support you even when you're doubting yourself. So I assume this point Whitebrim loves me and it'll be really easy to deal with this, hopefully. Man of action and need no honey words. Trillamont. Band of thieving heretics, you say? Yep, lots of heretics around this area. Heretics themselves seem somehow changed. My face seemed utterly lost in the grip of righteous fervor. I mean, you know, horrible, horrible authoritarian regime that torments people constantly is kind of lends itself to that. One of their victims, huh? A traitor. Lying senseless in the snow and carried him to our infirmary. Okay then. Let's go see what this dude has to say. Tiny, tiny potato just leaping over all the tables. Nope, I'll be back for your cards later, idiot. You. Mm-hmm. A blow sent me reeling. Next thing I knew, I was on the ground. Several heretics were rifling through my cargo. Arms, armor, and crystals. Oh, yeah, yeah. Yep. Yeah, this is when the heretics are desperately trying to steal as many crystals as they can so she can summon. Stalked over to better acquaint my head with his mace. For darkness claimed me, however, I distinctly heard the words, "Return to Snowcloak." Alright. Off to Snowcloak. Let's go up and over. Snowcloak's easy. There's only like one path out from Whiterun Front going anywhere. And it's all the way back here. Where, the Behemoth, fates start back here. Not right here. I think they're further back, but here enough. Hello, idiots. Bye, heretics. There's a lot of dead knights. A couple of dead heretics, too, so they got their hits in, at least. They got a couple hits in, though. How's doing that? Come on, big pal. Wait, I recognize you. Patrolling chanced across one of their raiding parties. We've had them cornered in this ravine, and yet they're gone, vanished like icy wraiths. Oh my god, it's almost like if you just climb over some of the frozen waterfall for 5 minutes, you might find them. It's almost like if you just look up slightly, you'll find Iceheart right now. Uh-huh. Glimpsed a woman atop the cliff. Oh, it's like, you glimpsed a woman atop the cliff. It's like, not really, if you look at that cutscene. My character didn't look up till she left. But whatever. Oh, the heretics are doing a bunch of screaming of like, oh, the cold sounds my pain, my life belongs to the lady. God. I love the fact that Isael had like a real random chance encounter with a dragon one time and made a bunch of super grandiose delusional ideas about herself based on the fact that one dragon once happened upon her and didn't kill her. Like, that's it. One dragon happened to fly overhead of her and not murder her, and she made a bunch of assumptions about herself. Surviving knights spared no detail in their report. Granite near Snowcloak are some of my finest. They should be bested so handily. Uh-huh. Consider the stolen provisions lost to us for now. Yeah. I think this is pretty much the end of the side track to Kurthus. I believe I have to head back to the stupidity of Alf now. So I am probably going to put like a hard cap of about 3 hours on my stream today. I don't know where I will be story-wise. Realistically, so much of what we're getting into this point on is so dumb that I'll want to skip through a lot of it really fast. And if I were willing to put in the time, I might get all the way through at least 2.4, maybe most of, if not all of 2.5 as well. There's some better stuff in 2.5. It's not all terrible. It's just mostly terrible in 2. In like a bit of 2.3, a bit of 2.5, and most of 2.4. It's like just mostly terrible. But I'm going to put a hard cap of 3 hours on my stream today because I have some family stuff I need to get to before it gets too late.
Your return is most timely. Of their own accord, my thoughts had turned to your task and the progress thereof. I confess, my imaginings tended toward the grim and bloody.
I mean, it was grim and bloody, but I won. He is kind of a weirdo, but he's such like a Warrior of Light fanboy very early on.
Do little justice to the reality of your travails. Tell me, what did you learn of Iceheart?
Little to nothing. She's a lady and dresses in blue.
Indeed. And this transpired at Snowcloak?
A weird elf lady in blue.
Of all the highlands, that towering wall has borne the worst of the region's brutal shift in climate.
What apparently was a waterfall has turned into a giant ice shelf.
So inhospitable has Snowcloak become that we have still to survey the area in its entirety. Could its frozen heights conceal the heretics' hideaway?
Isn't Snowcloak a dungeon too?
Effort is in order.
I think it is. I hardly ever play it any recently, so I don't remember for sure. But I think there's a dungeon and the trial behind there.
For the moment, we still know far too little of this Iceheart. That she is capable of commanding such a band of fanatics bespeaks natural authority, and no small measure of charisma. As much as I would like to fathom this mystery with you, the situation has grown beyond my personal purview. I am bound by duty to inform the Temple Knights and request that they bring this matter to its conclusion.
Oh my god, you have to inform super corrupt organization that...
Giving the glowing report.
They're not all bad, actually. Temple Knights are pretty good. In fact, I
am certain that they can be relied upon to take appropriate action.
Pretty sure he is a Temple Knight. In fact, he might be in charge of the Temple Knights. But a lot of them are corrupt and do some really heinous stuff you find during the Dark Knight storyline.
Though true identity yet eludes us, you have provided us with a point from which to begin. Sometimes it takes but a single stone to prompt an avalanche.
Maybe that's not Temple Knights. Maybe that was a different order. There's a few different orders in Ishgard that I forget sometimes. Maybe he's not in charge of the Temple Knights. Maybe he's in charge of a different order.
On the matter of the stolen provisions, I have already made arrangements for a second shipment to be sent to Revenant's Toll. I could not well allow such an honorable venture to be undermined by one miserable setback.
I love the Orshafont emote is that thing of him like raising his hands and then like that fist of his. It's just goofy. Alright, back to Revenant's Toll then. I guess I could teleport, it would be faster. But I'm so close between the two that I just feel weird teleporting. And you know what? That's right, it would be faster. And it's not like I don't have Gil. I'm kind of debating what I want my next job that I unlock to be. Because I'll get one after finishing 2.5. But I'm not sure which... I know it's one of two, but I'm not sure which one I really want to go with. Because there's one I can pick up here in ARR. There's one I need to slip into Heaven's Word first before I can get. And so if I'm really obsessed with, like, getting it at the end of that episode, like, ta-da, here's my next job, then I should get the one I can get here in ARR. But if I'm willing to just bank that job unlock after I finish the 2.5 storyline and be like, once I slip into Heaven's Word, I'll show you guys what I'm gonna get. Then I can get a different one. As for Tom sending a second shipment, yes. Huzzah, House for Tom. Brave new companions. Time to get back to the stupidity. Jet seems somewhat flustered. Why don't you head into the Rising Stones? You've taken very little of my time, actually. And thankfully, very thankfully, away from their dumbness. Also, I haven't been able to play on the Minecraft server the last couple days because they shut it down on New Year's Eve, around the middle of the day, New Year's Eve, and they're doing like big overhauls to it. This isn't a little thing. This isn't like, oh, we're adding 2 or 3 mods. This is like we're adding a chunk of mods, a dozen or so. Plus, one of these mods, I believe, is including a bounty board, so they have to, like, write a bunch of code for the bounties and the design of the board and how it'll function and all that before they can get the server back up. I think they're mostly adding a bunch of, like, dimension mods, too. Things like Bumble Zone and a better Deep Dark kind of stuff, all that sort of stuff. Like, different dimensional mods, I think, and they're adding bounties to the system so that we have another way to get money. Because we've mostly just been cashing in stacks and stacks of copper for money for real poor exchange rates. Plus, you can create farms for stuff like that. They were looking for a system that isn't farmable so that you can get money and also get better amounts of money. So they're putting a bounty board in the server. I'm so totally tempted to lost the waste paper basket. How you doing, Tataru? Well, I'm not going to help you with paperwork, but I could take something else off your hands if you want. And these uniforms, the new recruits scattered about Revenant's Toll. Well, huzzah. So that's the strangest thing. None of, like, our junior Scions, who aren't really big, important names in the Scions, the Seventh Dawn, decide to join the organization, and none of the adventurers, the little baby adventurers in Revenant's Toll, decided to join the organization. In fact, we didn't even ask any of them. That's how stupid we are. We didn't even ask this gigantic pool of super loyal and devoted people that want to be just like us. No, we went to random idiots. Is it Lorian? I think that's a different... Yeah, it'd be Livian, I think. Is the person I'm thinking of. Domo, como, sorry. Just thinking about his Japanese voice, this tiny, tiny child potato. Some people see no riches or short-sighted fools. Oh my god. I'm only here for the cash! Oh god. Shall be wealth aplenty. Yeah, that's a super loyal companion. I'm only here to get rich. Oh, look. It's a convicted felon that we arrested. Like, we put this dude in jail. And 5 minutes later, they're like, okay, you've paid your debt to the Wood Whalers. So apparently the Wood Whalers aren't willing to punish anyone. Like, a week after we threw him in jail, we were recruiting him, and he was already out by the time we recruited him. Apparently the Wood Whalers have a real lax legal system. Alien. You know, for the longest time, I thought you died. He's at last retired from the adventurer's life. His wisdom and irrepressible spirit. Decided to forge my own path forwards. thought of pledging myself to such a lofty organization is somewhat intimidating. I mean, it'll only be a while. Don't worry, you'll forget this nonsense ever happened and eventually become a scion. For a while, and then they'll fall apart too. Could learn much from Revenant's Toll. This town can be so alive in the midst of such desolation. That's the problem that you run into a lot with the Alamegan refugees, is it's like... a lot of them are so busy wallowing in their own self-pity that they aren't willing to put a lot of work in. And I'm not talking about the work that's offered to them by the Uldan citizens, because that's all corrupt, exploitative nonsense. I'm talking about, like, their own heavy lifting, hard labor type work, because that's really the difference in Revenant's Toll, is that everyone here is really willing to just sort of, like, break their back to make this city work. Expect to meet you strolling about town. Primal battles are what inspired me to come to Revenant's Toll. I don't even remember much of what happens with FME. I really don't remember much of anything with her. I wonder if she just gets off randomly at some point. Or does she just disappear after it all falls apart? Hey, buddy, how you doing? Leading my fellow recruits as captain. Yeah. I look forward to using your organization to enact my own vengeance. My own short-sighted, naive, stupid vengeance. Ergmus as well. I don't remember much of what happens with him. Just me as a proud member of the Maelstrom and a hardy defender of Limsa. Stand for the betterment of the realm. I mean, he seems like he cares. Ultramarine Guard. Where's that last? It looks like they might be up here, but I thought I was already up here. Oh, he was hiding behind the pillar. Hey, real. Much like Alianne, he only spends a little while as a Crystal Brave, and then when all that falls apart, and then eventually we bring the Scions back, he basically just becomes a Scion. I love how the story writer thought it was super important to write all of this build-up into the Crystal Brave so that it could last about a week. That was really intelligent. Almost as intelligent as ignoring massive story elements that you brought up 5 minutes earlier to write random shit for the Crystal Braves. Alright. Not so much down on this. Don't rag on it, just joke about it. Yep, handing out the new uniforms so that you can have your delusions of grandeur. Small corps of elite warriors. So that you can basically just offload almost all of the duties that you should have as the person who formed this organization to someone else and completely ignore what's happening to it internally because you have a delusion of grandeur of
Comrades,
creating a giant
your
company
presence
to
here
save the
signifies
world.
the momentous choice that each of you has made. With your strength now pledged to the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, you are beholden to no single nation. You stand as the vanguard for a united Eorzea.
Sure.
From this moment forth, I declare you Crystal Braves. Let us mend this fractured realm and face our enemies as one. Whether it be the Beastmen and their primals, or the conflict in Carteneau, it is plain that the nations of Eorzea cannot solve the problems which plague the realm. Thus does it fall to some few heroic souls to succeed where they have failed.
It's almost like a grand overarching theme of this entire video game is a bunch of idiots offloading all their problems onto other, more capable people.
Come,
Rather than taking
take
responsibility
your place
for
at
any
the
of their
Scion
actions.
side as guardians of Eorzea, and together we shall fight for the freedom
Oh
of
man,
all.
that is kind of what the other nations do constantly. It's just like, oh darn, another problem. Better send the warrior of light.
For the freedom of all.
Wow. So epic. So amazing. 5 minutes later. Oh, no, never mind. They're gone now. I don't know. Crystal Braves last about a week. Maybe in game they try to claim it was about a month, but I don't know. They never really say exactly. It feels like about a
or
week.
should I say, Crystal Brave Commander Leveilleur?
God, no. You know, all of that wonderful, wonderful resume of his that makes him really suited to being a military commander. Where he was a massive nerd that was just top of his class at the frickin' studium.
Please, antecedent. The title is honorary. I shall not be leading the troops into battle, as it were.
Well, that was a mistake.
We are of the same purpose.
I shall not be leading the troops. Oh, that sounds like a massive mistake, doesn't it? It's almost like you should just have delusions of grandeur, go, I'm going to make grand sweeping changes, and then offload all of the busy work to someone else that you have no reason to trust.
The Scions stand ready.
Don't worry, I'm sure the Crystal Braves will go on to save the world for many, many generations to come. Wait. No, it was something else that happened. I don't remember.
I'm eager to see what the Crystal Braves might accomplish. This
Sure,
shall prove
can
an
I ignore this
interesting time
storyline now?
indeed for the Scions.
Can I go back to dealing with Iceheart stuff,
Yes,
please?
I'm listening. So our worst fears are confirmed. The entire
Oh
Isle.
my god. The
Such
entire
power
Isle of
defies
Val has
comprehension.
vanished as if someone blew up the whole place.
Truly? Kryl is alive?
And
Thank the
yet,
12.
no one blew it up. Actually, if someone did blow up the whole place, you'd expect some rubble or something, but the Isle is literally
see.
just poofed out of
Pray,
existence.
inform me if her condition changes. Yes, I shall pass on your words to Urianger. My
Kryl,
thanks.
that wonderful
I shall
character
contact you
that we're
anon.
not even going to meet until post-ARR, I think. Or no, post-Heavensward, I think.
When I learned of the loss of the Isle of Val, I dared not hope that my friend had survived. Yet, by some miracle, it would seem she has. She's still to regain consciousness, it is true, but better that than death.
Cool. Oh, yeah, actually, 2.4 deals a lot with Moon stuff, doesn't it? I think 2.4 is mostly Moon storyline, and then 2.5 is where we get back to the Iceheart stuff.
Putting this happy news to one side, we must now endeavor to make sense of the readings taken by the survey party. It appears the etheric disturbance which accompanied the Isle's destruction is of a magnitude alarmingly close to that of Ultima.
Oh my
Could
god.
the Ascians be responsible for this devastation as well?
Oh no. It's almost as strong as Ultima? What could I possibly do to overcome that when I'm level 70 in Stormblood? What could I possibly do to overcome something slightly close to Ultima's power level when I could solo unsync Ultima? Not the Ascians. Uh-huh.
I wonder.
And in this case,
Have you heard aught from the Mother Crystal since the battle with the
I
Galleons?
don't think the Ascians are involved in this case. Granted, I never got to the end of Eureka's storyline, but I don't know that the Ascians were involved. Someone was messing around on that isle, that's for sure. Someone in a mask, too, but I don't know that he was an Ascian. I think mostly the people on Eureka kind of made their own mistakes.
Then she speaks to neither one of us. Hiding in silence portends not but ill after.
Jesus, Wario, oh my god.
Louis Soir, I pray you yet watch over us.
Not really. He's busy with his own thing right now. I have appeared. He's very busy with his own stuff for about 5 years now. It's a good thing I'm not including quest gear in my allowed list, because quest gear would have been a big mistake, because they basically just hand you everything you need to fully gear one class all the way through the MSQ as quest rewards. Like, you'd never need to buy anything or craft anything if you used quest gear. At least not until you're gearing up other classes that are not your main. Then you might need to. Wait for transfer. Let's hope the shipment is spared the fate of the last. Yep. It went Super Saiyan Blue and punched a dragon. That's just kind of being the same guy's chicken boat. God. Yeah. Winds are uncommon fierce this day. Dun dun dun. That's where we're going next. I mean, not for a while. I have to finish 2.4, I have to finish 2.5. I need to put together a compilation of the post-ARR stuff for YouTube, so that's going to be another week. So it'll be at least 3 weeks, about a month, probably, before I get to Heaven's Word, minimum, depending on how much more post-ARR side stuff I want to do before starting the MSQ. Because if I can manage to hit that control breakpoint that I need, I will be able to get myself like the best crafting gear, the best gathering gear, and the best crafted combat gear, I think.
Greetings, peasants. How goes the...
By the poop! By the poop! Oh, God. Great. Asians on every shoulder. No angels, all demons. Like... It's great that there's a black one and a white one beside him, but there's no angels here. They're all just whispering horrible things in his ear. Eorzea defended, so we've actually finished 2.3 now. Defender of Eorzea. Not in the slightest interesting to me to wield that one. So now we're actually into 2.4. Wait, Trader in the Midst? Are we already dealing with this? I thought it took a little while longer.
I'm Austrian.
Did we really jump straight into there's a traitor? Sense of dark foreboding. Concentrate on the problems of the present. Primals have been relatively quiet. I beat up Ramu like 5 minutes ago. You're in the end game now. I'm in the stupid arc now. Cool. Yep. Uh-huh. This you knew. Let's speak then of more current matters. I mean, yeah. You've been in the stupid arc since Alf founded the crystal. I mean, that was 5 minutes ago. I just got through that cutscene of him founding them. Or at least gearing them up. But yeah, the stupid arc is like 2.3, pretty much through 2.5, with some side stuff that's not so bad. That's basically how it goes. Most of Post-ARR's main storyline, its A plot, is the stupid arc. A lot of the little B plots you get along the way are okay. Bunch of convicts and obvious late-stage capitalists. Yeah, exactly. I don't know how many times I can say how dumb it is. How much the story writer for Post-ARR got like blackout drunk and bashed their head on the keyboard or something because they established that we're beloved by tons of people who want to be just like us 5 minutes before they then have no one joins our organization of their own volition, and we go and beg a bunch of felons to join us. Like, the quest right before we go beg a bunch of felons and capitalists to join our organization, establishes that there are a ton of junior adventurers in Revenant's Toll that admire my character and want to be just like me. Literally the quest just before it. Not so sloppy coming out, isn't it? What is it? Do be concise? Sloppy. Sensitive nature, huh? Yeah. Skip. I'm gonna skip through large portions of this text because I don't care. I know where all this is going and it's really dumb, so...
Hail to you, Scion. How might we serve you?
Sloppy. Did his voice actor change between
Commander
the two?
Leveilleur bade you serve us?
He already sounds pretty similar to the way he sounds later on during the sloppy. But he sounds a little different. Maybe that's just because he's not screaming sloppy at me.
These
So
are
similar
welcome
enough that
tidings
it's
indeed.
probably the same voice
Given
actor.
the sensitive nature of the task, I could not rely on one of my own.
No, he doesn't have the northern accent here. Oh. Different voice entirely. Okay. What? all of
That
me
which
kids
I'm
are
about
Sean
to tell
Bean.
you, I tell you in the strictest confidence.
I mean, given how many of them die, that makes sense. Jesus, Ash.
I guess I have to die again.
Some
Because I
days
have to
ago,
die again.
we received certain documents from an anonymous source. They notified us of the presence of a Garlean agent within
Not
the ranks
screaming
of
for
one of the
Alamigo
grand
yet.
companies.
Yep.
Following some discreet inquiries, we identified a suspect among the Immortal Flames, whom we detained for questioning.
He's distinctly southern in his accent here.
Alas, the man was not our agent. He was but one of many men in the agent's
Southern
employ.
British. It's good that I have British viewers, because God knows I wouldn't be able to tell you what's Southern British or Northern British or whatever accent-wise. I know there are different accents, and I know they're based on location, but I could not be even remotely capable of telling you what the accents are from.
We pressed the traitor for a name, but he had none to give. He claims never to have met his master, whom he knows only as the Ivy.
Oh my god, the Ivy. Oh, Jesus, I forgot
He
this was even
however,
a story beat for a
certain
while.
that this Ivy had coiled itself around every part of the Immortal Flames.
I mean, yeah,
It would seem
they
our
kinda
employee
have.
joined the company some time ago and gradually recruited others to his cause. These conspirators are the vines by which he learns our secrets, all without exposing himself. It won't be easy to identify the Ivy amidst this tangled mass of
I
subterfuge.
know who the Ivy is. Can I just
But we have
walk
a
in and
tendril
go,
in our
"You're the
hands,
Ivy"?
and we shall follow it all the way to the gnarled root.
Can I not just walk in and go, "That's the Ivy"? Oh well.
Now, much as I would prefer to
The game
proceed
doesn't
with
allow
due discretion,
previous
circumstances
playthrough
demand that this
prescience.
matter be settled post-haste.
Sure, how you can think this is the same voice.
Sloppy.
I don't know. I wasn't paying too much attention. I'm also not British, Baron.
Garlemald's War of Succession nears its end, and it is feared that the Empire will soon resume its march on Eorzea. When it does, we can ill afford to have traitors in our midst. The Ivy must be rooted out now.
That makes me wonder if Yu Yu
We must
Hase has
begin
the
by
same
apprising
Japanese
General
voice
Roban
actor
of our
for both.
findings.
I would ask that you accompany me to the Hall of Flames.
Does he even
and
voice
remain on
Heavensward?
hand to see that things go smoothly.
I can't remember when that titular scene of Yu Yu Hase's voice is, whether that's post-ARR or later in Heavensward. He said the quest title. Oh, man.
Assuming the Ivy's tendrils
Yeah,
are as
domo,
widespread as we
go.
believe, he will be aware that an investigation is underway. And if that is the case, he may well move against us.
Oh, no.
We must be prepared for anything,
どうもこう
while
も
taking care
ご覧
not
の
to
通りで
betray
す
our
そうで
purpose
す
by seeming
すべて
prepared.
はエオンゼア
A
の
simple
ため
enough task for a
Okay,
one-man
that
army like
happens
you.
later. Okay. So that happens in post-ARR. Then does Yu Yu Hase even have a single voice scene in Heavensward? I can't remember, because that's like the only scene I can remember where he even talks. Hall of Flames. I'm also pretty sure that's the only time he speaks. Okay. Yeah. I couldn't remember if he had any other voice dialogue in the game. I do love the voice actor they chose for him. I have no idea who the voice actor is, but I love the voice actor they chose for Yu Yu Hase. It's the most out of left field voice imaginable. ARR is voiced by the same voice actor as Gaius. Ah. I'm back, Warrior of Light! Ilbert rips off his face. It was me, Gaius, all along! Oh, God. It was me all along, Wall! Hi, I mean, hi, Aline. Who do you stop it? Oh, man. That'd be great if the same voice actor for Gaius later was
Well,
also the
well,
voice actor for
what
Ilbert
brings you
during
here, my
Heavensward.
friend?
He is here at my behest. Greetings, Roban. It has been a while.
Hilbert, you old scoundrel. When they told me you'd be visiting, I scarce believed my ears.
But you old scoundrel.
But look
I
at
trust you so much,
the
my
honored
old
captain
friend.
of
I
the
mean, it's
Crystal
almost
Bloody
like you're my
Braves.
left
Who'd have
hand.
imagined, eh?
My left-hand man. For whom do you stop? How very stop? Uh-huh.
Not many, but fewer
Such
still
an
would have
ass
imagined
today.
your destiny lay in politics, old friend.
Aye, we've both come far, have we not?
Hilbert is here to lend him a hand. Be taking it back later. It is amazing how Raubod is kind of just as bad as us at
Lest you
trusting
wonder,
people.
Hilbert
You know
and
what
I
I
go
mean?
back a long
Like,
way.
Think
We've
of the
been
two
friends and
people
rivals
in this
since we
chunk
were
of the
lads.
storyline that Raubon trusts the most out of everyone, and it's like, yeah, you're real good at judging people, aren't you, Raubon?
The last time we saw each other, Alamigo had just fallen, so you can guess how many summers it's been.
That
And
sure
in all
won't
that
come back
time,
to
not a
bite
word
the
from
hand that
fool.
feeds, will it?
Ah, well, my dealings tended toward the modest and mundane, unlike some I could mention. As I hear it, no sooner did you reach Thanalan than the brass blades clapped you in irons and dragged you off to die on the blood sands. Being a stubborn sort, you won 1,000 matches and earned yourself a place in the people's hearts while you were about it. Then, With your mountain of prize money, you bought the Colosseum and secured a seat on the Syndicate. Those balls, brother. Rags to riches does not do it justice. You're a hero to the common man.
Yeah.
Bah, spare me. I am no hero. If anyone is worthy of that title, it's our friend here. Next to him, I'm little more than a glorified butcher.
Yeah. It's like, thank you, Ilberd, for the as you know trope. Like, thank you for hitting the cliche of the as you already know about your own life and everything you've done in it. Let me tell you what
But
you've
you,
done.
Ilberd, you sell yourself short.
Yeah, why are
By
you
all
telling him of his
accounts,
own
you
achievements
were
that
an
he
adventurer
lived
of solid
through?
standing.
I always hate
I
that
like
in
to
like
think that I
movies and
did my
stuff.
part for the
Literally
greater
the
good.
phrase, as you
But if
already
you're
know,
no
it's like,
hero,
then don't tell
then
us
I'm
this.
no adventurer, not in this company.
Don't tell me as you
Anyway.
already know exposition, exposition, exposition. Just show me that.
I have tidings.
So there has been progress.
Alamigo still sucks. No, wait. Something else.
I've let it be known that this meeting is a reunion between old friends. None will give your visit a second thought. To convene elsewhere would only attract attention. Let us speak here, in plain view of all.
Hey, Lean, what you doing over there? Within earshot of us.
So it is we who have been compromised. Teleji Adeleji's machinations have shaken Ul'dah to her foundations. In such uncertain times, a man's loyalty may be bought for a fistful of gil.
It's almost like you shouldn't have established your freaking ruling system in a way that a tiny, stupid, corrupt potato could ruin everything all on his own. Remember when you were small, your forces gave themselves try to shatter the circus. What the hell? Whole tribe together, as I'm sure you know.
But if this snake has truly been in our midst for as long as you say, we must needs consider a far graver possibility. Very well. I will have my most trusted
Wait,
men
you're a stupid
investigate the
potato
matter.
too. Yeah,
Continue your
and look at the
inquiries in the
grand
meantime.
sweeping changes that I make across the whole of this freaking nation. Look at the grand sweeping changes I enact across multiple continents. Even the ones who are on the side of good are villain coded. Yup. All for my
It does
money.
me well to see you again, old friend. When next we meet, let it
Unfortunately,
be over
I
a
have
flagon
a
of
really
ale.
crappy wallet that can only hold 300,000 gil at a time. But I'm still doing it all for the money. It's a lie. I'm a very good onion knight.
I look forward to it. Let us reminisce of bygone days and
Oh
drink
my
to the
God.
future of our homeland.
I wonder if you can actually get like an onion knight type look in this game. Because that'd be funny for a little tiny potato to have the onion knight look.
Flame General. You wear the mantle well, old friend.
There's onion knight armor
I
in
must
Crystal
work hard
Tower.
if I'm to keep up.
Yes. Yeah, there is. It's not the final set. It's either the first or second set. Even a Lala for sure. And there's some you can get from the retainers. Okay.
Well, it would seem your services were not required after all. I dare say we have Roban's prudence to thank for that. Still,
Huzzah.
I was glad of your presence.
Yeah, sure. Glad to be hanging out with you too, Ilbert. And excuse me while I put my hand on my dagger every time you and I are talking together. Don't mind me. It's just some weird reflex I feel every time you're standing next to me. Back and forth. Oh, wait. What? Game? You okay? You having an aneurysm? Yep. Yes, you are. You're having an aneurysm. Cool. A friend wants it and is still upset it's locked behind retainers. Oh, the Onion Knight stuff? Yeah. Very Super Mario World at the moment. Hunt for the ivy. I mean, I could walk into the main hall and point the ivy out right now if you like. Well versed in all Onion Knight stuff. The red helm you can buy on the market. Well, unfortunately, no, I can't. Can't do that. Back to the Rising Stones. Unfortunately, I can't touch the market. Being a 1.0 thing. Oh, the blue one is special being a 1.0 thing. Okay. Black is hella rare. No, it's Gloom again. Now you're just taunting me. Every time I teleport to Revenant's Toll, it's Gloom. Game's just taunting me about that fish I couldn't catch. Granted, it not only has to be Gloom, it has to be a specific, like...
Extremely slow.
Oh, no! Oh! It's like, no. I have the blue one. I really did the Onion Knight stuff if you have the 1.0 Onion Knight item. Ramen and Higiri is a all class one, unlike the red one being tank only. Oh, it's all classes. That's surprising. Oh yeah, that fish I was talking about. It not only has to be Gloom, it's only available for like 1 3-hour chunk each Eorzean, like midnight. 1 3-hour Eorzean time chunk each day. And it has to be the right weather pattern at the same time. It's a pain in the butt. Plus, I just don't have the stats to get it. Something has happened. Reconnoitering the rendezvous site used by the Ivy's minions. Uh-huh. Word that the unit was ambushed en route to its destination. Oh my god, it's almost like we have a leak inside the Crystal Braves, but that's not possible. We filled it with the most loyal and devoted people we could possibly beg and scrape the bottom of the barrel to find. One of ours was taken captive. Treat the foeman with dignity, and I have grave fears for his safety. Oh yeah, this is what happens to FME. Let's recall those braves who are afield. We have not the time. I still don't understand Laurentius. Yu Hase is one thing. Yeah, Yu Hase is one thing, but Laurentius? We captured Laurentius and turned him over to the Wood Whalers, and like a week later, the Wood Whalers let him out for good behavior, I guess? I don't know. The turnover rate of that convicted traitorous felon to his nation is like, what kind of legal system and prisons do you guys have in Gridania? Because they suck. At the Garlands with more captives. Yep, we must go now. Alian of the Fourth lies in wait. Yeah. They're tree huggers. Tree-hugging hippies. So they're like, oh, you promise you're never gonna do it again, Laurentius? Yeah, sure, guys. Okay, then we'll let you go. Okay, it's out there. Oh. I love the fact you have to jump to sort of get your mount into flying mode to increase your speed. Means that every time I'm coming out of a city as I'm going on my mount, I just bash my character's head on like the gates of the city. Hello, Leon. Yeah, that didn't really last too long. It took about 10 seconds for FME to get kidnapped. I forgot that's what happened to her. Just let me brief you on the situation. Cool, great. I don't care. Oh god, the level sync thing. Fell upon us without warnings and wounding poor Resh and hauling her away. Oh, Resh. I thought it was FME. Numbers we were, it was all we could do to flee and regroup. Maybe interrogating Resh or worse. Yeah. I'm definitely skipping this chunk. I don't think this chunk gets, like, blatant with it the way it did in Alamigo, but I think there might be insinuations that they did something. I don't remember. Resh might have only been, like, tortured and interrogated. That might be all that happened to Resh. I don't remember for sure. I remember it was annoying that it's like, oh, great, another woman that got taken by the Garleans and something horrible happened to her. Whether it was one thing or the other, something horrible happened to her. Cool. And I basically, like, skipped through it as fast as I could my first playthrough, and I think tried to just cut it out of my brain as fast as possible. Because they just can't fucking stop classifying the Garleans this way. Like, you've identified enough how horrible the Garleans are. You can stop now. I get it, game. Congratulations, you've established them as villains. Stop now. Jesus Christ, game. I think she was just, like, beaten and interrogated, though, if I remember correctly on this one. Which is not good, but comparatively to what they constantly show or tell you the Garleans are doing to women is better than some, I guess. Yeah. Like, you establish them as evil, and then you establish them as evil 50 more times. It's like, we didn't need that game. We get it. The Garleans suck. Sure, cool. You don't need to keep reminding me every 5 minutes how horrible they are. Move those wounds. Yeah, they kidnapped her, beat her, and I think we're starting to interrogate her, but they didn't do anything else in this particular instance. Thank God. One less instance of that I have to have in my brain for the rest of my life. Go ahead and use my ether charges on this giant frickin' mech. I like that I can stand right there and kill all their friends and no one does anything to stop me. Cause, like, I'm over-leveled for this area, so... Oh, wait, there's one more group out here. This is like defeat the Garleans at specific spots, and you defeat like 9 Garleans, and there's like 50 more just wandering around the base, and it's nothing. Nothing. They just wander through the base with all those Garleans around. Oh, cool, more of them. Oh, and great, there's 2 signifiers at just a far enough distance that there's no way I can hit both of them with my AoEs. Oh, well. Hate when they do that. They position the spellcasters out just far enough that it's like, nope, can't do that. Can't hit everyone. We done yet? Okay, no more. Good. Alright, you guys are totally clear. Ignore all of these random wandering Garleans here. You're totally, definitely clear. I don't think we ever see Resh again. Commander Resh is safe and we suffer no further casualties, blah, 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 blah. Report the mission success to Commander Levier. Alion's pretty cool. Alion exists in kind of this weird place in which I really do kind of like Alion's character, but you don't really get much of Alion. Don't worry, they're overleveled. Like, you don't really get a ton of story or anything about Alion, but I do like her. She always exists kind of on the outskirts of any group that you spend a lot of time with, right? Like, she's a Crystal Brave, but she's not one of the 3 most important Crystal Braves that you get tons of story stuff with. She later becomes a Scion, but she's not, like, one of the inner circle of the Scions. She's more like Hori, Boulder, and Coltonet, and that, like, they're Scions, kinda, but not especially. Like, the only smart, not corrupted Brave. Yeah, pretty much. Plus, it might have something to do with, for so long, I figured Alion must have died, only to find out she was totally still alive later on, and I'm like, oh, thank God, because I kind of liked her. So that might also be part of the reason I really like her, is that it's like, for a while there, I was worried she was dead, and then it turns out she's still alive, and it's like, oh, thank goodness. Oh, hell, blah, 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 just being careful about domens, blah, 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 okay. Sure. Resh owes you her life. Be caught off guard. The Empire is not an opponent to be tried. Yeah. And keep the wits about them. Rest until we have identified and apprehended the Ivy. Scared breath. I'm afraid. Require you to accompany Kurthus. Back to Kurthus. Cool. You going to delegate all the leadership responsibility of the Crystal Braves to someone completely unreliable, and we're going to Kurthus? Awesome. It's him. It's that boy. The only thing the Braves did was spawn your Doman Ninja Task Force. Did they spawn the bros? Oh, they kind of do. Yeah, the Doman Ninja Task Force forms in order to help us deal with the Braves. So yeah, they did kind of spawn them. I was gonna say, like, did they spawn out of trying to help the Braves do something? It's like, no, they spawned out of trying to help us deal with the Braves. Yeah, the Doman Ninja Task Force is really useful. Mostly off-screen, though. They help a lot with the Braves, and then they kind of disappear into the background of the storyline, so you don't see them much. But I mean, they're ninjas. You're probably not supposed to. Story-wise, it seems like they're doing a lot of interesting and useful things in the background, which is what ninjas should be doing. Right? Be like the tactical Thancreds of the Braves. Great honor to serve the Holy See directly as a Temple Knight. Okay, so he is a Temple Knight. Alright. It's just that there's also multiple... There are multiple orders of Temple Knights. It's not just the Temple Knights, if I recall. There are multiple different factions within the Temple Knights, and he's the leader of one, which is one of the most decent and good and loyal and all of that kind of groups. But there are also totally whole factions of the Temple Knights that, like, blackmail people and beat old women and steal girls away to be abused and stuff like that. And those are the idiots we deal with during the Dark Knight storyline, because, you know, got to establish how horrible Ishgard Knights are so we can establish that, like, there is a place for people who wield the Dark Knight power. Because all of your great, holy, freaking pompous, whatever haughtiness is not actually making you a good person. So there's a place for those of us who are like, nope, fuck you and all of your righteousness. It's time to take you down a peg. You mean that temple or this temple? I think it's a wonderful idea. Yes, let's go. Yes, help Alphino ignore his responsibilities as the leader of the Crystal Braves. Do it, it sounds like a wonderful idea. I cannot help but wonder what prompted them. The Ishgardians have spurned all contact with the other. Yep. Well, not for the reason you'd hope. They certainly aren't going to help anybody right now. More than is generally known. Yeah. Ishgard has no intention of helping anyone at the moment. The center of Avalathia's spine. Yep. Members of the original Eorzean Alliance. Oh, formed in the wake of Alameo's fall some 2 decades ago. Yeah. As I recall, Ishgard was already locked off and isolationist even back in 1.0. I swear I remember a lot of people were like, oh yeah, back when we were playing 1.0, Ishgard was like that place that you could see off the map that you're like, when are we going to get the chance to go there kind of thing, right? Which I think is why there's so much buildup for it here in 2.0, or not 2.0, in Post-ARR, as like, oh, this amazing place that's finally opening its gates and maybe we'll get to go there eventually kind of thing. Is like sort of bleed over from 1.0, where it's like, when are we going to get to go to that place off in the distance? Oh, that's when they lock their doors up? Yeah. Okay, so after Silver Tier Skies, they lock their doors up. Oh, that's interesting. So did you not participate in Silver Tier Skies? Did you only get to, like, see Silver Tier Skies, maybe from, like, an echo or something in 1.0? Is that what it was? Because I remember there's a lot of, like, cinematics and stuff like that of the Warrior, of, like, kind of, like, seeing Silver Tier Skies battle going on. But I don't know about him ever participating in it. So maybe it was only an echo of the battle. Oh, and they also do bring up Midgard's armor here a lot in Post-ARR as well, yeah. So they're really kind of bringing back a lot of the weird stuff that they never really answered in 1.0, and that's what they're sort of dragging back to the forefront just before you move on to Heavensward, is like, yes, we're going to talk to you more about, like, Midgard's armor and what's going on there with that dragon wrapped around that ship in the freaking lake, and we're going to talk to you more about Ishgard, and maybe you'll even get to go there now. Eorze stands united. Unfortunately, he's got Asians whispering in his ear, so he's not going to help us. I do like that after all that manipulation by the Ascians and stuff, the Pope still straight up murders one of the Ascians, like full murder. Not like I'm sending you back to the abyss to come back later, but just straight up like I'm gonna destroy you utterly. It's funny to me. Where it's like they're trying to manipulate him, and in the end he just turns on them. They still succeed in manipulating him, but he totally just turns on them. We have something they desire, but I don't know what yet. Yep. They will bring their desires to the table, and we'll bring whatever we have that they need, and we'll find something, some sort of common ground maybe to deal with. But probably not while that idiot's in charge. Old friend Lord Orchefant is expecting us. He talks about the quest to recover the Enterprise as if that's the last time I saw Orchefant. And it's the last time I saw Orchefant with Alphino. So I guess that kind of makes sense. But, like, I've seen Orchefant just recently, bro. But I'm not dealing with your dumb ass. I get to go hang out with some coolish Guardians. I mean, there's not many of them, but there's a couple, and I get to hang out with them. DBC Napa is killed by Vegeta. But it's an Ascian and the Bishop, yep. No, wait, that's the other side. Ooh, Griffin Mount. Where's the Griffin Mount from? Thanks, Celine. Potato over the table. Ever a welcome sight, my friend. Is he doing the... Yep, there's the Orchefant emote. I love every time he does it. The like, yes! It's just funny with Orchefant. Blazing in preparation of your arrival would not do so for such a distinguished personage to catch cold. I shall ever struggle in cold climes, says the dude dressed like a stripper. Wearing this skin-tight outfit and these thigh-highs. Yep, I wonder why you struggle with the cold, bro. Yeah, the Griffin. Where's that even come from? You have relied overmuch on your aid. Beast tribes. Oh, okay. Which beast tribe? Oh, that would be the Ananta. Yeah, we're dealing with, like, Griffin riders as soldiers that we recruit during the Ananta tribe quest, so that's probably where it comes from then. It must be the Ananta. Which means I can actually get the Griffin on this character. It's been repaid, besides who could say what the future may bring. Snaky peoples. Yep. Yep. Those strange girls that make weird feelings happen in my pants. I mean, those odd snake people. Yeah, those ones. Uh-huh. Booby God. Yes, that too. The primal that you desperately have to mash the screenshot key as hard as possible. Even seek the aid of your newly formed Crystal Braves. Hopefully not, because that's not going to happen for much longer. Glad the Holy See is at least willing to grant you an audience. I mean, yeah, they'll talk to us, but they're not going to let us anywhere near Ishgard. Sir Emmerich is at Camp Dragonhead, eager to meet with you. Why don't you rest a while? While we bring you hot cocoa. Back here, right? Yeah. Cool. I still like the idea that at the end of 2.5, Alphino was so upset at how stupid he was that he basically just crammed himself in this room and sat here drinking hot cocoa for like 6 months to a year before Heavensward came out. Like, before Heavensward came out, Alphino just spent like 6 months to a year or however long between 2.5 and Heavensward just sitting in this room drowning his sorrows in cocoa. It's that boy and that girl.
Commander Leveilleur, it is both an honor and a pleasure to meet you. I am Emmerich, Lord Commander of the Temple Knights.
Alphino Leveilleur, at your service. Your reputation precedes you, Sir Emmerich. I think we will find that we have much in common.
Sure, pal. Yep, you're totally on Emmerich's level as a leader. Definitely, Alphino.
Speaking
You're
of
not some
reputations,
book
yours
nerd
towers
who
over
has
us all.
delusions of grandeur, that's for
Does
sure.
it not?
It does indeed, Lord Commander.
Yep. Murdered your sister. Although, granted, you didn't really like your sister, so there is that.
I am not too proud to admit that I have followed your activities with an interest bordering on fascination.
Great, another wall fanboy.
Full glad.
I mean,
was
though
I
we
to
know
learn
that.
you would
He
be
very
joining
much
us.
is a wall fanboy.
Now then, shall
He's
we begin?
even the only person in the entire storyline to ask the wall out on a date. The only person with the balls in the storyline to ask the wall on a date.
We know
I forgot you
full well
spin
that the
kick her
Garleys
sister's
will
head
return
off.
in force
Yep.
ere long.
Yes, we did. Her sister was a jackass, though, so who cares?
What is more, we have yet to achieve a lasting victory over the primal menace. The beast tribes continue to summon their gods, and each incarnation is stronger than the last.
I didn't really get to the point in the story where we full-on established that. They probably kind of expect you to have done the extremes by now. We are like, Jesus, every time they summon them, they're more powerful than the last time, and now they're starting to kill their own people to summon them. But I haven't touched the extremes yet, so I'm not quite at that point of the story.
Ishgard is not immune to these threats. I must reiterate that it would behoove your nation to rejoin the Eorzean alliance.
Once again, I must respectfully disagree.
On what grounds?
Despite their presence in Kurthus, the Ixal do not concern us. Their territorial claims pertain to Gridanian lands, and it is the people of Gridania whom they harry.
Yep, just ignore those people.
Consequently, the Holy See judges
I
this
mean, the
to
people
be
of
a
Gridania
Gridanian
kind of suck
affair,
anyway.
and
Bunch of
Ishgard
racists,
does not
so who
intervene
cares?
in the internal affairs of other nations.
What I also love is the idea that, like, Emmerich desperately wishes he could help you guys this whole time, but he has to play the freaking politician game.
Even were that not the case, our forces are wholly committed to the Dravanian conflict. We have not the knights to spare.
Guy's trying to be bigger than someone else, so he stacks chairs and tries to be taller. Person is just slightly poke the tower chair. And watch Alfie fall over, yeah. Delusions atop delusions of grandeur for Alphino and
As for the
ARR.
Guardians, We are not ignorant of history. We have observed the rise and expansion of the Empire, and we agree that it is only a matter of time before they resume their campaign in Eorzea.
Then surely it would be in our best interests to present a united front.
Mayhap one day, but not yet. Gaius van Belsar is dead, and the legion of conscripts he left behind lacks the will to fight. We think it highly unlikely that they will emerge from behind the walls of their castra for some time.
Forgive me, but if Ishgard's position has not changed,
Nowadays here in Heaven's
why
Word
did you
sipping
agree
hot
to this
cocoa.
meeting?
Yup.
It was not only as a representative of Ishgard that I came here.
Dunk his head in it and make sure he draws a piece of freaking hearts. It takes him a while. Alphino becomes a pretty good character, but God, does he have a bad start. God, does he have a start that does not endear you to him, like, at all.
Of my personal feelings. There is, however, one area in which I may exert a measure of influence. Concerns have been raised over the supplies House Fortin has offered to Revenant's Toll. These have led to calls for restrictions on the provision of aid to foreign powers.
Yep, Ishgard being dicks all around. Like, they might think we're allies with them if we're sending food and medicine to a random frontier outpost. Just want to shove down a flight of stairs.
I can ensure that the shipments continue unabated.
Sir Emmerich, we would be in your debt.
No, you would not, for I require something in exchange. Of late, there has been a flurry of Dravanian activity, the purpose of which was not immediately clear. However, our astrologians have since observed alarming changes in the heavens.
Midgardsormr. Okay.
The dragon
I was
star
like, wait,
waxes
what
unnaturally
storyline
bright,
are we hitting
and
here?
there are whispers that it portends the resurrection of
It almost felt like they were
Midgardsormr.
setting us for Shiva, but no, Midgardsormr is started in Kurthus. Okay. For some reason, I thought Midgardsormr's story started in Revenant's Toll because of the fact that that's where Midgardsormr is in Mordona. But it starts here.
The fallen guardian
so
of
Shiva must be
Silvertear
2.5
Falls?
then.
That's absurd.
Full many times
Absurd,
I gazed
Alf.
upon the dragon's corpse, still
Totally
wound
absurd.
around the Agrius, and wondered how different our world might be if it yet lived
no.
to plague the skies.
It's time to be a father. Oh, man.
I do not know, and I do not wish to know, nor does any son of Ishgard. Yet the mere presence of Dravanian forces is not sufficient grounds to send knights to Mordona, whatever our astrologians say. As I told you before, we have not the forces to spare.
I mean, they kind of... Well, actually, they may not. Right now, they're sort of in full swing of the Dragon Song War, so they may not have any forces to spare at the moment. They may all be off worthlessly fighting a bunch of dragons.
But we do. So you will intervene on our behalf if we agree to watch over the Keeper of the Lake.
Do you accept these terms?
I do. I will see that you are kept abreast of any developments.
Unfortunately, now that I don't really watch Critical Role, right? Yeah, Critical Role. I don't really watch it. I like D&D, and I like a lot of the people that are in like the live D&D scene, but I can't watch live D&D play. I just can't. I get secondhand embarrassment from watching other people do live D&D play stuff. It just feels like cringe to me no matter how good they are, right? But because I've spent a little more time watching some of like their other videos, not the live play stuff, but like some of their just other videos on their channel and all that, and have heard Sam Regal, whatever, in some of those videos, I can't listen to Alphino without like seeing his face. You know what I mean? It's just like, no, nah, no, doesn't work for this kid. I feel like this would say like yeah. He just casually accepts this, expects you to face down a dragon. She gets bigger to be like, her, I'm bored, so I'm gonna knock you off your train wheels. Yep. I mean, that's how it always goes. It's always like, yes, I will randomly agree to this thing I have no chance of doing myself. I'm just going to throw the Warrior of Light at it. Everyone does this. This is not an Alphino exclusive thing. Everyone agrees to dumb freaking things and then just assumes they're going to send the Warrior of Light after it because they're never let down by that assumption.
I regret that we could not come to a similar agreement on other matters, but I understand that you are not at liberty to make such decisions. Nevertheless, I hope that what we have accomplished here today will serve to demonstrate to your countrymen that we can work together towards a common goal. Mayhap one day we shall look back on this moment as the first step towards a united Eorzea.
The Pope and his corrupt soldiers could not give one iota of a fuck about what we're doing here today. They will never befriend our nations or join us. They will never. I mean,
what is the meaning
the
of
nation
this?
will, but the Pope and the people in charge right now, they don't give a shit, and they would never join us.
The caravan, my lord. It's been attacked.
Again.
It was Iceheart, my lord.
What? By the Fury? All our precautions were for naught?
They spoke with Ben for revenant's toll. Honestly, is so inclined. Yeah. Gods are conspiring against us. Let's speak with Orchifant. Sure, let's go after the caravan. Actually, no, we can't be dealing with Midgardsormr now. Because of what Midgardsormr does to us, I don't think we deal with him until 2.5. Like, just before the turn. Into Heavensward, I don't think we deal with Midgardsormr until then. So maybe it is Shiva we're dealing with here. They, like, sidetracked us with Shiva, maybe. We must act swiftly. Yeah, they sidetracked us with Shiva. Okay. Because I was thinking, yeah, given what Midgardsormr does to us, I don't think that happens till just before Heavensward. And then it's like, oh yeah, we totally can't hear her. Even when she starts speaking to Minfilia again, we totally can't hear anything she says. Iceheart's heretics have said blah blah blah. An ambush. Knowledge to which only a select few are privy, I presume. Yep. Avenue of inquiry in due course. Seems to me that examining the scene of the ambush should be our first concern. Cool. To Boulder Downs. Let's examine it. Yep. Sure. Totally. Yep. I definitely read all of that dialogue. I didn't just say, Boulder Downs, we're going there? Okay. Skip. Yep. Come on. How we doing here, guys? Everything destroyed and stolen? Move along, nothing for... God. There, a crate behind, wagon for good measure, yeah. Movement is easier to steal it. Campsite harder to conceal it all, wow. Wagons of their own, hidden away off. Absent proof does not but speculation. Okay, then. And, okay, back to the, to the observatorium now. Alright. Surviving Squire. Where are you, buddy? Is he in here? Might be. No. Is he upstairs from here, or is he just sitting around? No, he's definitely in this one. But not here. He is upstairs. Okay. Right? Yeah. That's about the attack, huh? Upon the move over the entrance of the Hall of the Seven Echoes. Pilgrims we marked them as, lost and ill-equipped for a journey. Leader called out to them and one stepped forward to answer. Silver hair flowing in the wind like melting snow. Just a young girl, I thought. Yeah. Same else, why would he have let her draw so close? Some words I couldn't hear and she leaned forward as if to kiss his cheek and then he sighed and crumpled to the ground. Yeah. So she just approached their leader as if she was going to show him affection and then just knifed him right there. They like really hard shift gears on the heretics over the course of the story. They're prevented like the most villains that ever villain really in post-ARR. And then it's like, oh no, but the Nation of Heavensward sucks actually in Heavensward. I mean, we kind of start to establish that Heavensward Ishgard sort of sucks here even before Heavensward. Iceheart has a lot to say about them. But not before she transforms and tries to kill us, so, you know. It's not scruple to sully your hands with blood. I like that. Who is this Shiva the heretic spoke of? Single line of the Enchiridion? He was a traitor to kith and kin, an apostate who lay with dragons. Can I expect all foreigners to know Ishgardian scripture as well? God. She's their patron saint. All makes sense now. Yep. Crystals. Lots of crystals. Crystals, a rather large quantity of crystals. Iceheart and her followers intend to summon Shiva as a beast tribe with a primal. Oh my god. Okay, so discretion is of paramount concern that they're gonna summon Shiva? Yeah, probably. Sure, why not? Everyone else is counting on us constantly to solve their problems, so why not you too? I'm sure you would not miss this for the world. Yes, I totally love fighting gods. It's not a horrible hassle at all. Come on, next quest. Strength and unity. Sure, but a relatively minor one. That was before I discerned the purpose behind their attacks. My undivided attention now. Join me at White Brim Front. I keep saying front. I actually think it's font. White Brim Font. I can never remember that, though. Oh, yawn. They're giving me shark fin soup? I don't care. Actually, it might be pretty decent right now. Nope. No. 10%? Yeah, that's nothing. Mine's already 12, I think. Yep, mine's better. So that's what I did to try and spirit bond a lot of my gyros. I made a bunch of crafting and gathering food. And, didn't make any more of this. I made some of the topaz accessories for my tank, but I didn't make the last one because I'm out of demi ones. And then I made, oh yeah, a crap ton of cordials. I just made a ton of cordials. Like 100 cordials, which is not a ton, but luckily cordials is one of those things that I can kind of just craft forever. Eventually you get high cordials, which is great, but that doesn't mean you're not going to use up the lower level cordials too. So that's one of those things that I can kind of just craft forever, but I need time node materials and Grand Company seal materials in order to craft them, which sort of sucks. The high cordials are better. Because they just use Heavensward materials. Same with Spirit Bomb potions. I can craft Spirit Bomb potions right now, but I don't want to because the Spirit Bomb potions right now take demi materia, whereas the superior Spirit Bomb potions a little later on just take normal Heavensward materials. But they might be time nodes, I don't know for sure, but they're just like materials. You don't have to do demi materia or anything like that. Wish to join the hunt for Iceheart? Yep. They say your timing could be no better. So transferring a large number of crates to the west. Appears to match the description provided. Cool, we lost track of them at Snowcloak. Here to these pilgrims. Knights will join the hunt. Still can't remember if we do a Snowcloak dungeon before we do Iceheart. I think we do. Pretty sure Snowcloak has a dungeon. I swear I remember Snowcloak having a dungeon. And so it begins. Perhaps we can locate the heretic's lair. Sure, let's do that. Yes, yes, excellent. Sorry. The doofuses that we never see again. What else you would have us do, pray speak? Oh my god. She's such a mysterious person. I have no idea about the... They keep showing, like, little hints of her rather than her whole freaking body and stuff, and it's just hilarious to me. Oh, wow, this is some laggy... This game does not like it when I have reshade on and I'm streaming. It really doesn't. Maybe I should turn the graphics down a little. A joint effort may succeed. Trust you haven't forgotten about Inquisitor Guillaume. So the heretic remained undiscovered for so long has been much in our thoughts. Yep. Taken to prevent a similar breach of security in the future. Conduct an exhaustive and covert evaluation of everyone in Whitebrim Font. Some were found to have committed certain minor transgressions. We identified only one possible heretic. God dang it. I was supposed to help with something after stream, and I assumed they'd wait, but I guess when I told them I'm going to stream, they decided, well, fuck him for not immediately doing what I want him to do and just decided to do it on their own, which means now I'm going to get guilt-tripped after my stream for not... Ugh. I hate my fucking family sometimes, man. Just little, like, nonsense guilt trip pokes. Of like, well, you weren't here, so I did it myself. Well, fuck off then. I shouldn't have a terrible trailing quest to deal with here, because I remember those were a really, really shitty thing that sort of started during Endwalker. Dumb choice to include those, so this should just be a generic sort of go to the destination, go to the destination, go to the destination, now you're done thing. I shouldn't have to actually trail this dude. Still can't believe they incorporated those into Endwalker. Like, 2 decades late for this stupid Assassin's Creed mission they desperately wanted to make, and it was like the worst mission type in Assassin's Creed anyway. And they thought it was like some genius idea to incorporate it. Only for the fans to tell them to go fuck themselves, and then them to have to really dumb it down in Dawn Trail to make it so people could actually do the missions. But they didn't just get rid of them. Like, just get rid of them. The fans never wanted that mission, and it was a bad decision. Just get rid of it. Don't just dumb it down and make it Babby's first trailing mission for Dawn Trail. Just get rid of them. No one wants them. No one wanted them in Assassin's Creed either. My bollocks off out here. Ah, yeah. Heretics. Standing on the wall. Wow, I have duties to fulfill. Bloody echo. Lower your voice, Lyris. Temple Knights are mumble in Snowcloak. Yeah. We already knew about it. Our comrades in Boulder Downs will use the tunnels, blah, blah, blah. Dead before they know what's happening. Uh-huh. Benefits of being a tiny little potato. Live in, live out, no one ever knows. Might actually be better to come in from the bottom when I need to go talk to Drillamont. Or from the top of this tower when I need to go talk to Drillamont. Because I think it's only 1 down from the top, but it's 2 up from the bottom. Investigation bear fruit? Yeah, he's definitely a traitor. And they're planning an ambush in Snowcloak. Probably to just kill you all with tumbling rocks. We've heard their words more clearly. Uh-huh. They got it nonetheless enlightening. It seems the heretics are aware of our operation. Yep. Boulder Downs are key to their plans. It's key to our plans that they be rooted out and put to the sword. All this stuff I'm just gonna desynth when I finish stream, or later at some point. First blood. First blood is blood. Network of secret tunnels traverse the highlands undetected. Given what you overheard, I fear Snowcloak may be riddled of such passageways. Heretics and Boulder Down, they're planning to use them to take our forces unawares. Cannot allow that to happen. During their nights are on patrol in the area, I shall order them to begin searching for the heretics at once. Consent to assist my knights in the search. Rendezvous with them. Sure, why not? In fact, let's see. If I go at the top, it's just one, right? I mean, it's a very high one, but when I'm flying, that doesn't really matter that much. Yeah, it's probably better to come in the top, because I can cut under this little lip here and then just drop straight down to where Drillamon is. Okay. I mean, this is all real, like super refining of pathing and stuff to save 3 seconds kind of stuff, you know what I mean? There's like speed run type pathing type stuff. It's like, oh, I'll save myself 3 seconds the 4 times in the entire game when I have to talk to Drillamont kind of stuff. Well, your knights are all dead, so there's that. Change stratagem. Get wrecked, fools. Return to Drillamont. So I'll save myself a few seconds here. Just going straight up and over the... Come on, stop. Stop landing! He's aggressively landing as hard as he can just because I'm moving forward at the same time. And not quite going over the lips. Just keeps shoving his mount down on the ground to walk. Oh, cool. Caught behind the door. Trapped behind a door. So much for saving time. Hey, Belle. Shatter those kneecaps to save a second. Sent no word of your coming. What has happened? Your knights are dead. So were the heretics, though. They're veterans with years of service. Bodies must be recovered. Not the men to spare, not now. Not sufficient number to contend with the combined strength Temple Knights Crystal, but yeah. There must be others. They're on their way to Snowcloak as we speak. It seems the traitor you followed managed to pass the heretics something of value after all. Timetable of guardsmen's watches at our outpost in Snowcloak. The way had caught him sooner. Okay, great. Why don't you just send me into Snowcloak to kill everyone? Must send reinforcements, even if it means withdrawing knights from the Stone Vigil. Into Snowcloak we go! I am kind of blowing through this quest line pretty quickly. Maybe I'll hit the end of 2.4? Path of the Righteous. I might hit the end of 2.4 by the time my 3 hours is up. Like I said, I am going to hard cut at 3 hours. So I can try and get to this before they're like, no, we did it all ourselves because you weren't here, my fucking family. Like, a little respect for my streaming. Just a little. I'm not asking you to be my fans. I'm not asking you to watch my streams. I'm not asking you to care about my streaming at all. Just asking you to respect slightly that it means something to me. So that you don't treat it as an inconvenience that gets in the way of me doing stuff for you all the time. That's the only one thus far. As you see, we've yet to uncover any hidden... Yeah. Suspected the heretics might be plotting such an attack. Place my knights on high alert. Alright. No, don't send me to... Whatever, he's right here anyway. Hi, Yu Hase. Domo. Sorry. Once they go to such lengths to defend Snowcloak, yep. The enemy has such a disadvantage. Cool, great, whatever. There she is. She? Come here, girl. She? Oh, cool. Okay, so that wasn't what they were talking about earlier. They're just making something else. Whatever. Only my pride, Ida. They kept calling him a girl. There's been a development, sir. Together with the Temple Knights. Sorry. Those looks like straight up Stallone type shit. Like with this Japanese voice actor being the way it is. Like, his voice is so deep. Yeah, it is. Oh, yeah. He's only voiced in like one scene in the entire game, but it's such a meme, that scene. Barely wide enough for 2 men. Well, then I guess you'll have to send in a squad of tiny, tiny potatoes. In fact, I'll take you, Yuhase, with me in my party. We definitely won't suffer any losses whatsoever while we're going through Snowcloak. Absolutely none. I will definitely do a really good job of healing my tank. Totally. Numbers would be more hindrance than a help. Also, high monochrome. Yeah, you will go wherever that tunnel leads. Into Shiva's lair.
It's me, Mario.
Baron. Literally just pop back on whenever the chill music cuts to Mario music, just to joke about it. Enter the tunnel is just over here. Go to Snowcloak. Cool. It's time. NPCs? I could probably go in as a healer, but let's go with NPCs so I can take my time going through Snowcloak and sort of look at anything I may want to. And it happened to be Mario when you got back. Yep. Ah, Snowcloak. I kind of forget that there's a couple of extra dungeons in the post-ARR content. There's Snowcloak, there's Keeper of the Lake. I think there was another one earlier on, but I've forgotten what it was now. Let's go, AI! Lead me to victory. Carefully, you might slip and fall. Duty support, man. Let's let Celine deal with his healing. If he'd get out of the way of some of those hits, that'd be nice. Is that Pokemon? That's Pokemon. I like this playlist. The playlist is probably not as DMCA friendly as my previous ones are, but since I'm cutting them out of the video anyway, I figure whatever. These are more like remixes than they are like full-on DMCA free music, so good thing I'm cutting them out of the video. I don't even know if I'll be able to max out the relic. Ideally, the stuff I'd like to get done in ARR would be the MSQ. So yeah, this dungeon, Shiva, normal, all of that. I'd like to max out my relic, and I'd like to finish up the Bahamut raids. Whether I'll be able to do those last two, I don't know, before moving on to Heaven's Ward. Because I'm not like playing with this game anymore. You know what I mean? If I happen to hit MSQ end and move on to Heaven's Ward first, then I'm moving on to Heaven's Ward first. Because it keeps throwing up these, like, brick walls of crafting and stuff like that at the end of ARR that are really annoying. And that they never did again going forward. They never did anything this aggressive going forward when it came to crafting. Like, end of expansion crafting stuff. And so I may just press on into Heaven's Word and forget all of this nonsense 50 3-star, 4-star recipe stuff that ARR's post-ARR stuff. But I would like to finish up the Relic and finish up the Bahamut raids, if possible, before moving on to ARR, or to Heaven's Word. I just don't know if those will be possible. Because I have an item I need to gather, a fish I need to fish up, that I just don't have the stats for, because it's a big fish, in order to push forward in the Relic. I think I can reach that stat-wise once I get the better gear, gatherer gear, in the Mastercraft recipes. Same with crafting. I think I'll be able to craft pretty much any recipe from ARR once I get the upgraded crafting gear. But I'm at a point where I'm really pushing materia over melding materia-wise in order to hit the like bare minimum stats I need to get the levels I need, even with food, in order to be able to make those recipes. The best craft armor is 110, yes. The best craft armor is 110. But that's not my problem. My problem is, in order to craft any of the 110 sets and the best crafting gear and the best gathering gear in the game, I need 451 craftsmanship and 307 or something like that control. I can hit the craftsmanship now, but I can't hit the control at all. I'm incapable of hitting the control right now. I think I have enough room materia melding wise to get there, but that also requires me to do crap tons of crafting and spirit bonding to get control materia. So I'm basically just looking for super high level recipes that I can craft really quickly and in massive bulk in order to get the to spirit bomb my crafting materia. Bye-bye. Good pieces of gear that I can break down. Right now, what I'm low on is not Battle 3s, though. What I'm low on at the moment is Battle 1s, so I actually need worse pieces of gear from, like, leveling dungeons to break down. Maybe you could sell for just hitting 100-ish and just take the gear from the raids. Maybe. But I can't. I can't. Mechanically, that might work, but in the rules of my challenge that I've sort of rewritten and rewritten and rewritten when I realized how terrible in-game ARR was, gear-wise. So it's kind of worthless now anyway, but I'm still sticking to them, goddammit. I cannot use any raid gear until I have crafted the best set. Basically, I have to prove, yes, I am capable of getting the best set possible for me to get crafting-wise before I then move on to using raid gear. So, mechanically, I could do that, but not within the rules of my challenge. If I'm going to bend the rules to let myself use some raid gear, but not all, then it's only allowing me to use raid gear after I've proven I can craft the best set in the expansion. Because ARR kind of expected you to take Tombstone raid gear to even attempt Final Quells. I know it did. I know it did. But I've looked into it, and it'll be possible without doing that, so I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna prove that I can make 110 stuff before moving on to using the raid stuff. Hope you can do it, though. It is mechanically possible for me to get the 110 stuff. It is possible. And so that's what I'm going to do. Once I've proven, yep, I can totally craft the best gear possible in ARR, I am capable of that, then I will move on to using raid gear if I'm not already in Heavensward by then. I kind of need to get my stats up anyway. That's the thing. There's no real reason to really just race to Heavensward and be like, let's just bypass these crafting stats by using Heavensward gear. Because in order to craft the first set of Heavensward gear, I need high crafting stats anyway to make that. Like, you need better crafting stats than you need for the Mastercraft ARR recipes to craft the first set of Heavensward gear anyway. So I really do need to get, like, the best gear, the best set of crafting gear possible for myself before moving on to Heavensward anyway. I like that Scion Marauder is just standing in the AoEs and faking them. That's not a terrible, terrible mistake anyway. I'm gonna have to handle all the mechanics with this guy, I bet. I kind of doubt that duty support can handle it. At least he's getting out of the AoEs, though. Or am I thinking of a different boss? There's one that you have to, like, knock the snowballs back into him, I think. I thought it was this one, but maybe that's wrong. Oh, cool, he was out of range of the Whispering Dawn. Good to know. Tanks are always out of range. Okay. No, this is all just updrift. I wonder if they changed Snowcloak. Maybe that's the case. Maybe they just altered the way Snowcloak plays because people couldn't understand it. Bye-bye. Yeah, they must have changed it. Because I swear that was the boss that had that mechanic. Is that what I think it was? Yes, it was. Thank you, Baron. Denied. Get banned. They changed all these bosses. I know they changed a lot of these bosses. I wasn't sure that they changed all of them, though. Snowball mechanic is gone. Oh well. Wasn't all that interesting, and most people fucked it up anyway. So, who cares? Changed Holotolly recently. I've probably played the newer Holotolly. Because I don't think they changed Holotolly like yesterday, and I have played it recently, so I've probably played the new version of Holotolly. They need to change Stone Vigil hard, yeah. They also kind of need to change some things around, I think it's the first Stone Vigil, not the hard, but the normal version of it, just because it exists in a very weird position. It exists in a place where you don't really have many of the good mechanics from your class, and it's sort of this sudden ramp up of difficulty dungeon-wise. Not that Stone Vigil is all that bad, but for new players, you don't have much of your class's kit at the time, and it's sort of this sudden ramp up in difficulty of dungeons when you hit Stone Vigil. They changed it from when I started, yeah. I know they have changed it. They have changed Stone Vigil more recently, back when they were like started doing all the dungeon changes. They changed Stone Vigil then. But it's still like not that great for new players. Best mitigation in the game. Art of War. Best mitigation in the game. Just beat the enemies before they beat your tank. And then use OGCDs. Should make sure Celine's close enough. I'm pretty sure she was close enough. I can never really judge the distance all that well. I just want to make sure she's embracing the tank. You're done. Kind of fitting going through Snowcloak that they give you a Scion Lancer as duty support. And it'd be even more fitting if he was a Dragoon, but then pretty much no one other than job quest NPCs and the Warrior of Light seem to ever actually have the jobs. Tank, do you want to frickin' pull, please? Would you like to pull the enemies off of me for 1 second, please? These freaking dragons have such powerful attacks, man. Galvanize and catalyze, nice. Pretty easy to tell when you hit a crit, I think, right? Yeah. Because you'll get galvanize and catalyze when you crit. So it's easy to tell when you're getting the big shields. Hello, Fenrir. Who wants to play with the puppy? I want to play with the frost puppy. Oh, wait, I probably should have used my food, shouldn't I? Even though it's not going to help me XP-wise, because I'm already capped on that, but... should be using my food for damage output. Oops. Make sure I'm close enough to the tank that I'm getting heals off. Whoops. Did all of the others break before that? I think they did. I wasn't paying attention. I think they cracked, and that's supposed to indicate, like, they're gonna break. Galvanize and catalyze, and then he, like, immediately ate them. Are you gonna use the LB Lancer? Because we're not gonna get a 2. Let me pay attention to them this time. Oh, yep. And dead. Lancer didn't even use the LB. Bye-bye. Oh, I spirit bonded my relic. I've been using this thing way too long, then. If I'm spirit bonding my relic, that means I've been wielding this thing for too long. Because I should be leveling this up as I go. Why would a DPS use an LV? Why would a DPS bother with an LV? Crazy. Hero Necklace of Healing. Well, that would be an upgrade, but I'm not using it. Alright.
The tales do not do you justice, warrior of light.
Hi, Sail.
Yes.
Hi, babe. How you doing?
I know who you are, and you know who I am. I was given the name Izel, but I earned the name Iceheart.
Sure you did. This whole chunk of the storyline is kind of just filled with people with delusions of grandeur.
Of hatred, of bloodshed, of sorrow. You would see it
Yeah,
continue,
I'll turn
O
around there,
noble warrior of light.
Dramatic chipmunk. Like,
I would not. I will not. I will bring an end to this war between dragon and man.
I mean, you'll help me to. You will help me to do so.
In time, you will come to understand that what we do for the greater good. For Eorzea, for Hydaelyn.
Especially reach level 70 on only PS jobs. Yeah. Red mage is next. Blue mage can blue itself. Baron. I've been equipped with this relic for entirely too long. It should have been upgraded long before frickin' Spirit Bound. What news? Some hot chick is totally in charge of... I mean, some crazy lady is in charge of this organization. Iceheart is a pseudonym, not that it matters. You thought Iceheart was her birth name? Like her parents went, ah, our beautiful daughter, let's name her Iceheart. Well, to come as close as you did, blah, blah, blah. Could be a surname. Oh my god. They can begin to survey the tunnels. Huzzah. Mildred Iceheart. Oh my god. Ethel Iceheart. Find a route past the ice wall. Yes, they could, hopefully. Cool. Great. Awesome. I've been idle and affiliate Ariane. I've been busy perusing the archives for information on the Agatha Iceheart. Oh god. Intending to trudge back to Camp Dragonhead to report that don't. As Eden should be here any minute, blah blah blah. Okay, cool, great, whatever. For the greater good. The greater good. Stop saying the greater good! The greater good. Shut up! Isolde Iceheart. Pretty close to actual name, to be fair, yep. Oh, man. Archives of House Photon? How? No one would have let her into the city. How'd she get the archives of House Photon?
The greater good.
The greater good. How can this be for the greater good? The greater
good. Glad you got that one. How could this be for the greater good? The greater good. Stop saying the greater good. The greater good. Shut up. Questionable veracity, yep. She lay down with the dragon, the gravest of all sins. Oh no. Please. I know dozens of people in my own FC who'd gladly lay down with a dragon. Happily. Very much doubt that we will find a useful answer in the archives of House Photon. Yep. Plus, it's all delusional nonsense written by the church to slander her. Case blah blah blah. Don't care. Don't care. The greater good. I mean, sure he would. Sappers confirm that a tunnel is safe. The men are not to search it. Yup. Your foes with less zeal than I had expected. Yeah, you mean that blind, stupid zeal? Yeah, that one. Full of Halone, that your ancestors came to this land and took arms. Oh, God. Faith is a renunciation of free will. Devotion is required of all who would live a life in service to the Fury. Yeah, they're stupid. They're stupid. Less so a leader of men. Yup. Look, Alphino, he's talking about being a leader. Maybe you should be listening very closely. So believe the Fury would value the lives of her followers over the deaths of her enemies. And she would. She absolutely would. We met her, and there's no way she would value the deaths of her enemies over the lives of the people that follow her. It's a different time, a different era, and Scripture tells us only so much. I prefer free will. I prefer fire at will. Oh God, Baron. Awfully pragmatic for a servant of the Holy See. He doesn't have room to be like belligerently, devoutly righteous. He's much smarter than that. Love cutscenes in 14 could benefit from a machinist interrupt. Yes! Yes! That is the next mechanic they need to add to this game. If you're playing as a machinist, you get an interrupt button at literally any second in the middle of a cutscene, which is you pull out your gun and it solves the situation. Unfortunately, they can't go back and add that to ARR because everyone would be hitting that button every single time Alphino is on screen. You'd really get some cutscene skippers that way. You'd need a machinist during Prey. During MSQ roulette, it would become definitive. Every single day you'd have people creating party finders for MSQ roulette solely with a machinist determined to be one of the jobs in it, just so that they can bam and skip all the cutscenes for the group. Every cutscene that starts, just immediately a machinist interrupt. There doesn't even have to be like an enemy on screen. Just hit the interrupt button flashing on the side of the screen every time, as long as you're a machinist when a cutscene starts. And it literally, all you see is like your character whips out their weapon like they're preparing for battle. It cuts to black and you hear bang and the cutscene ends. Can that truly be all that is required for them to be stupidly devout and have a shit ton of crystals? Yes, that could be all that's required. That could be everything that's required, is just a massive quantity of ether and a bunch of idiots who all believe the same thing. Search for an alternate route. Yeah, like, I could just attune to the same crystal that she used and maybe use it to just dive deep. That's what me and Y'shtola did with Titan. We just attuned to the surface crystal that the Beast Tribe uses, and then we use that to sort of guide us through the flow. Survey the entire tunnel system. Okay, so I think we might be saving Shiva for 2.5 then. Is Midgard Zormer and Shiva both in 2.5? I think they are. I think you hit Shiva first, and then you go to Midgard Zormer, and he seals the crystals. I request your assistance with another matter. What? Remnants of a heretic force which attacked us. Okay, fine. Let's help them track down some heretics. Am I getting close to the end of 2.4 here? It feels like it. Thinking that, like, I can't really hit Shiva till they finish their tracking of her. So either that's going to be the end of 2.4, that's going to be pushed back to 2.5. Keeper of the Lake doesn't happen till 2.5, given what he does, so... I think I'm getting close to the end of 2.4. Are we going to start dealing with corruption? Third hail from Old Da. For a man accustomed to the feel of sand beneath his boots, the crunch of snow could be rather disconcerting. Heretics we seek have been spotted making for Danafin Pass. Boom, boom, boom. How you doing? This balls, my ankle is on fire. My boot on a rock or something. Oh, there's one on ahead. Hurry and you might catch him. Look for tracks. Oh, crap. Up and over. Big sneeze. Tracks. Southeast. Alright, cool. How you doing, pal? I'm not sure. It's a great scaled beast, and I think he went east on his own. The heretic split up, so he did too. Cool, is he dead? Tell me he's dead. Oh my god, I forgot we saved Yu Hase's life. I totally forgot we outright saved Yu Hase's life. Jesus Christ. Following the heretics' tracks, I almost failed to notice they had doubled back. Uh-huh. Knife in his gut. The man's knapsack for anything of interest. Lo and behold, his friends, he was looting. He was looting the corpse of his enemy for riches when he got attacked. Somehow that makes perfect sense for you, Yu Hase. Suspicious, Kurthin. Using your excuses, we leave now. Those blue coats of the night searching everywhere I get past the gate. Why, hello there. Stay with him then if you think you'll fare any better. You're under arrest, idiots. Places like this in my homeland, sacred snow-capped peaks where blood must not be shed. Ah, yes, Yugiri. Lands ever thirst for the blood of the fallen, and by your deeds it is drunk deep. The ninja squad is here. None but meet in secret with heretics. Well, we shall have the truth from you yet. Not the only one skilled in the art of interrogation. Damn it. Just, oh no! Oh man. Okay, none for the heretics, for the merchant who's been conspiring with them. Favor Garlean spy may have been providing assistance to Iceheart. Lady Yugiri and her shinobi. You're my people that I have done little to aid for them. Yeah, well, you know, you're helping. You're helping more than the Braves are. Strike back against the Empire with their influence. Prevent the tragedy which befell Dowa. I mean, you will. This land never succumbs to the same tragedies that befell Doma because we managed to deal with the Imperial threat here so much that I can just take a vacation away from here all the way off to your homeland to deal with them there as well. I may disappear for a time. Know that I shall never be far, and shall always be watching. Yeah, I may ninja vanish for a while, but I will always be around. I love it when a ninja talks like that. It's like, you may not always see me, but I will always be around if you need my help. Great. Hey, Alf, what's next? I mean, the guy's a merchant. He'll, yeah. Great, I'm being stalked. Tendrils of intrigue. And they have a knife. Yes, they do. Dude, bro up there with the chimney stack behind him looks like some evil monster Asian or something watching us from afar. Can't even really see his face. It almost looks like he has a red mask on because of the way his helmet fits around his face. Bro looks super evil in the background just randomly. The guy in the back. Yup. Looks super evil out of nowhere. Yep. Exactly. Looks so evil. The heretic we captured, let's say the man Gadella's not that we did not already know. Hand him over to the Ishgard authorities. Ivy, however, have proven more fruitful. Channel by which the heretics acquired their information of the shipment routes. First identified as being the Ivy's employee. From him, we were able to trace a trail of conspirators, each taking us closer to master. Trails come to an abrupt end. During the investigation had been compromised, we took necessary steps detaining all suspected conspiracy, including a flame stationed at Revenant's Toll. Okay, we're getting back into the Ivy stuff. I may go ahead and call stream here. It's about 10 minutes before I would normally, but so Elisa with the Ivy are any closer privates. They are related. This pursuit is forced them to commit a grave error. Certain administrative powers available in high-ranking members. A handful of the field and the meals specs. Okay. Yes, they are. Okay, yeah, sure, whatever. Yep, yep, totally. Definitely reading all of that random lore. Absolutely enthralled by it. Couldn't possibly want to skip through it without bothering to read any of it. Yep, all that stupid old lore that I don't care about. I mean, that's super interesting. Definitely. Totally. Oh my god. They just won't stop. I'm just mashing the 0 key and they just won't stop. Stop already. I'm not even reading any of this and you just won't stop talking. Give it up, Alf. I'm not listening. Yeah, I'm gonna call it here.